I've put my hair up. That's not going to go well. I just did a 2-hour live stream for my Mission 12ers, their last masterclass for Mission 12 2018. What the heckle hells is going on? How did that even happen? How did that go by so amazingly fast? Well, that's because every year you get older. Every year gets faster. It's just the way it rolls. Right. Righty ho. Who's ready for a download? Mel! Hi, Mel! Hi! And Lisa Smith's in the house. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah. So, I want to talk about thought leaders. Who wants to talk about thought leaders? I thought my hair was really good and it's not looking as good as I thought it did look because I washed it this morning and I should have brushed it after I watched it. You don't even just get thought leading situations here on the JK page. You get hair tips for Facebook Living. Make sure when you wash your hair in the morning, you brush it, because then it looks way better. But that's it. Hi, Leslie! Hi, everybody. Who's here? Have you guys missed me? Because I haven't live streamed for like 3 days, and that's just too long. Too long in JK world. Too long. Hi, Leslie. Hey, 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 hey. How's everybody? How is everybody going in my world? Oh my god, and Buzz, actually, I was really sad saying you washed your hair. I know, it's a once a week situation, and now it's gonna have to happen again because I did not brush it. If I don't brush my hair after washing it, it goes all like strangly. Who missed me? I haven't live streamed since like, I don't know, Friday? Maybe even Thursday? That's so long in Jana land. I have not. Have you guys missed me? I want to know. Let me know. I hope that you have. Because otherwise it's like, why do I bother? Why do I even bother? If you don't miss me when I'm gone, why would that be? So I did actually have some interesting things. I hope they're interesting. But by the way, Mission 12, we have a 5-day window. I've been messaging with a heap of people on my personal page. So message me on my personal page. I'm not very good at messaging back on my public page, this one. I'm not very good at that. Just go and friend me or go and follow my page and message me on my personal page if you want to be in Mission 12 2019. Oh my god, hey, say hi. Say hi if you're in the house. Let us know that you're here. Big dreamers, we comment, cheer. Oh, did that rhyme? That was so good. Thought leaders. Who considers themselves a thought leader and who considers themselves like, what the hell does that even mean? Because I want to kind of break it down. Let's break it down for you. So I just had an amazing Facebook Live. Say hi if you're there. Say hi. I feel like there's heaps of people here and I'd love you to say hi. Let's not be strangers. But if you just feel like listening in, feel free. So Mission 12 has opened for 2019. I only take an intake once a year, and this is my one and only time that I take in, registrations, enrollments for my 12-month mastermind. Who considers themselves a thought leader, who feels like they're growing into their identity of being a thought leader, and who even knows what a thought leader is, because this is a space that I'm claiming that I've always had online. And I've finally been able to articulate it with this most amazing epiphany that's come over me. Because when I was doing the sales bit for Mission 12 2019, I'm like, okay, who do I work with? Who do I have the most impact with? Who am I able to get huge, amazing results with really quick? It's established, people that have established a message, size doesn't matter. People that have established a voice, size doesn't matter. People that have established offerings, size doesn't matter. People who have established a fan base, size doesn't matter. But they have established those, and essentially the stuff that they're sharing online in their books and their courses, in their memberships, in their masterminds, in their mentorships, in any other offering that they're offering online, everything is practically, they're making money from their mind. Because of their thought leading. And I can't work with people that just want to make an online business and make money online. I can't work with you. I ain't got nothing for you. You need to have some disruptive thoughts and something that disrupts an industry, something that is moving, something that moves you. That's what a thought leader is. They disrupt mainstream thinking about a certain thing. I'm a thought leader in online business, I guess, But even if you don't consider yourself a thought leader, I consider all my clients and all my customers are. I don't work with just randoms. I don't just work with randoms. And so when I looked at my clients, I was like, hang on a second. We're not like, I don't have hairdressers coming to me and selling hairdressing products. If a hairdresser came to me, she'd want to help other people create an amazing hairdressing business. So she'd write books and courses and memberships. I'm like, okay, break it down. What is the common theme? I'm like, okay, they're all educators. They're all experts. They're all experimentalists. And I'm like, there's more. What is that more? There is more to that. There is more to that message. Because I'm like, yes, they're educators, but it's not like I have a hairdresser come to me to learn how to do courses and learn how to do mentorships and learn how to do books on hairdressing. So I was like, hang on a second. So it's not just educators who want to pass down their skills. What the hell is it then? It was really quite like a 5-year situation for me to find this out. I'm like, okay, so hairdressers don't come to me to learn how to teach people to hairdress. What do they come to me for? They've got leading edge concepts that they want to pass on. Leading edge that they don't just wake up and become a freaking thought leader. No, they've been in the barrels of experimenting, of educating themselves in probably something other than the education system. So they've been in the realms of learning by trial and error by all the other peoples. So they learn, so they've educated themselves, usually not in the traditional educated sense, but sometimes yes. I've educated myself by getting a Bachelor of Communications. I educated myself, self-studied. I've educated myself by buying business courses. I've educated by myself for investing in courses. I've educated myself through that way, right? And then, so I was thinking about it more and thinking about it. And I'm like, okay, if I look at all my clients, I was like, lay it out, look. And I looked at them all and I was like, okay, what is common? What is the common freaking denominator? Because they're not just educators. And I know that they would not consider themselves educators, online educators. And that's what a lot of people that have got a business similar to mine, they're saying they help online educators. I'm like, yeah, that's still not my jive. And I looked at my clients, I'm like, they don't consider themselves online educators. It's not something that they consider themselves. That's also not what they are. They're more than that. They're more than an online educator, right? They're more than somebody that just makes books and courses online. I was like, what is it then? And obviously you know the answer, but I looked at all my clients as like, what is the one common denominator? What is the one common thing that they're all doing? And I looked at all my clients and I'm like, okay, they're all thought leaders. They're all leading thought. They're all got like leading edge, disruptive. Hands up if you've got disruptive concepts that you want to pass on and you're using the internet for this situation and you would pass them on to anybody who would bloody well listen in your life. Anyway, let alone you've got a whole internet of ravenous consumers who want your amazing, groundbreaking, leading edge difference of opinion than common opinion. Hands up who has that disruptive thinking streak. Then I realized, I was like, holy shit. Look at all my clients that buy books. Look at all my clients that are in School of Big Dreams. Look at all my customers, sorry. I was like, okay, so all my clients qualify. I was like, all my clients qualify. I said every single one qualifies as being a thought leader. And they're building a brand to be a thought leader. They already are a thought leader. It's just they don't have the significant following and the significant like building out of that and fleshing out of that and creating methods and processes about how to make their thought leading stick, right? And they're building brands to be the thought leader, right? Because they already are a thought leader. They didn't just wake up and flop out of friggin' bed and go, I'm going to be a thought leader when I grow up. No, they've gone into the trenches. They've been in the trenches. They've discovered trial and tribulation have got them in the trenches where they've learned a different way of thinking because the generalized mainstream way of thinking was not working, right? Hands up if it's right. If this is jiving with you, let me know. And then, so you've gone into the trenches and this really covers, because I've always said my clients, customers, community, the big dreamers, you guys, everybody here, you guys, I've always thought, well, they're educators, experimentalists, and experts in some way, shape, or form. But I knew it wasn't only that. And I knew it was more than that. And I've been actually talking about those are the 3 frameworks for 3 years, right? I've been saying it's educators, experimentalists, and experts. And so I was like, but it's still more than that. And it's still not just that. I'm like, it's more than that, right? And so I was looking and I was like, okay, so like a plumber doesn't come to me and ask how to make a friggin' online course to teach plumbing. So I was like, that disregards that. Guys don't come to me to teach them how to make a mechanics course, right? Okay, but I could teach them, but do I? No. They my customer? No. People come to me with leading edge, thought leading, disruptive thinking, totally not mainstream methods for the thing they're here to teach. And they sort of, like Leslie's just said, they're different ideas, but you forget that other people think like that. And so I looked around and I'm like, I've got parenting thought leaders, not parenting experts in a sense that they've like got a university degree. They're parenting thought leaders. I've got thought leaders in health. I've got thought leaders in business. I've got thought leaders in photography. I've got thought leaders in personal branding. I've got thought leaders in branding, in corporate branding. I've got all these clients and I'm like, what about customers? What about like customers and clients and community? Is this the same? I'm like, exactly the same, because I don't teach hairdressers how to make a hairdresser's course. So I cannot believe I never, because that would be educator, experimentalist, and a freaking expert, wouldn't it? So that would qualify under those categories, but it doesn't qualify in thought leader. They could be leading strategy, but they're not like, so I'm not getting like and so this makes you guys, as the Big Dreamers community, your level to which you recognize that you are actually a thought leader and to build your brand around that. Your personal brand is essentially what we're doing here, is building your brand, fleshing out your methods, creating your strategies, really honing in on your processes to be able to help people in the areas and the industry that you're here to help people in, and leading thought, being thought leader you are. And your level in which you're stepping up and owning that space, and your pursuit of being in and recognized as a thought leader, that's really kind of probably what grinds your goat. This big gap you've got going on of where you are and where you want to go is kind of like, why is nobody picking up what I'm putting down? Or why isn't the amount of people picking up what I'm putting down? And this is why social media creation has been our platform, because we're not here to make a buck. I mean, great, that's an effect. But we're here because we've got ideas that we can't shut up about, and our family gets sick of us talking about. It's like, why don't I go out into the internet? Why don't I go out to social media and share this shit around and make some friggin' money on the side, or make some money full time around the internet? Because I have these ideas that some people are like mind blown. Is exactly why I started my business with Mum's Juggling School back in the day. I started Mum's Juggling School because apparently the ideas that I was saying were like disruptive of mainstream thinking. Mainstream thinking is you have kids and then your life is fucked and you can't do anything ever again, and you're never going to be able to create a business on the side. You'll never have time. You're going to be just like, I was going to say the F word, fat. You're just going to be fat and just shriveled and a big fat red hot mess for the rest of your life. Now that your mum, I was 19. I was clearly an impressionable 19-year-old being told by other people that basically now you got a kid, your life's fucked. That's really what I was being told. It's like, you're never going to be able to do anything. And so I adhered to that mainstream thinking of being a mum's hard. Your life is now over. That's what they were telling me as a teenage girl. Your life is now over. Being a mum is really hard. You're never going to be able to have any free time to yourself ever again. Forget ever being able to have a shower in peace. Forget ever being able to poo in peace ever again now you've got a kid. And this was what I was being taught. And this is the mainstream thinking. I was like, okay, well, I'll put on like 25 kilos because I'm pregnant and apparently got to eat for 2. I know this feels like it's got nothing to do with it, but the ideas that I came to the conclusion of myself was because I had heard and soaked in and listened to all these bullshit ideas of other people giving me and feeding me these limiting beliefs. Even limiting beliefs around balance is now you can't be balanced because you have kids, and balance is something you cannot create. And I created my own idea about balance. Is I can have balance, I can do whatever I want. Can do whatever I want. There is no limitations to what I can and can't do. And so I started to formulate and create my own thought leading without knowing I was being a thought leader. But that's why it gained so much attention. That's why it got so much traction. I was speaking out against mainstream thinking, and a lot of people were just like, what is she talking about? She's got kids and she's launching a course every month. What is going on here? She is disrupting my thinking by what she is doing. And so I just went along a mission of launching a course every single month for 2014. I had kids, little kids, and I was doing this and just completely disrupting what everybody thought that I was capable, or what you were capable of doing with a heap of freaking kids. I graduated university, all these things. It's basically, if you look at your life, you have actually been on the leading edge of thought your entire life. You've always thought outside of the box. And you may for a minute forget, maybe it's a 3-year minute, maybe it's a 4-year minute, you may forget, and you go down some other random path, and then you come back to knowing that, you know what, you get to create your reality, and you get to think your own thoughts, and you get to create your own way of thinking about a certain thing to be able to get the results that you want, because you want it to work the way that you want it to work. Boom. Let's read the messages that you guys just said, because that was really good. I don't know, I think there should be claps. I should see the claps. Who is here? Let me know. Let me know. Okay, Leslie said, I want to be a thought leader, and Leslie said, I want to consider myself a thought leader, but definitely feel timid saying that. I know, right? Even I feel at my level, feeling like with like multiple 6-figure business, multiple years, personal brand, 7 million followers on Instagram. 7,000, going up to 8,000, going into 50,000. I'm trying to get 50,000 real quick. I've just activated like 3 killer strategies for my Instagram. I've just like got full serious about that. And you saw what happened the last time I got serious about my Instagram growth. I just like blew it out of the water. Jana Kingsford, my public Facebook social media stuff is about to blow up and explode onto the internet and be everywhere because I made it a conscious choice to. But I still don't, I think, oh my God, being a thought leader, I'm a little bit like, oh yeah, I'm a thought leader. I really don't know if there's something internally that we maybe feel, and I want us to be more expressive, that we are, and more ownership and more power without, that's what it is what it is. There are lots of industries I'd like to disrupt. I can imagine, Leslie, so many. I'm in the trenches of life learning on minimalism and food sensitivities. So much like minimalist in and of itself is thought leading edge, disruptive to mainstream thinking. It's boom thought leading. That's the essence of it. Oh, hi everybody. Say hi. Hi, Crystal. Sometimes I forget. hang on, I missed Lisa's totally disruptive to mainstream conformist limited way of life. Exactly. It's like, and that's a great word. It's like limited, like I was saying when I just had a baby and I was a teenage mom, and how limiting everybody's ideas for me were. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to buy that. I'm not going to buy that limited thinking. And same with my online business. Oh, you can't do that with 3 kids and no staff and no emails and no internet marketing. Hell yeah, I can. Don't give me your limited thinking. I'm expanded thinking. This is the way I think, and the way that I want it to work is going to work all the time, because I believe that really. So, but that's just a side note. Sometimes I forget I have different ideas because I can't imagine people still think in other ways. Oh my God. Huge example is that when Marion speaks on basically her field and her vortex of people mostly do aware parenting, which she teaches, which she is an instructor in aware parenting. I'm like, Marion, there is not one person in my field of face-to-face people that I know does or is aware of aware parenting. I don't even know if they know it. She's like, what? In what world does that not exist? And it's just like, what? And she's definitely a thought leader in parenting. And so a lot of it you'll create, and you'll maybe probably attract a situation where everything around you, everything in your field is reflective to your beliefs because you've kind of set it up that way. But sometimes it may be very disruptive in the early days, I guess. I guess it's ideas I'm still uncomfortable sharing that I know are not mainstream. So here. This is sounding deep. Oh yeah, we're super deep, super quick. We're deep. We're deep in it. Oh my God, I've only got 0% on that. So, that's really what I wanted to share. This is what, you guys are thought leaders, and if you don't identify with thought leaders, we're probably just not for you anyway, because I don't teach hairdressers how to make courses and books and write books on hairdressing. I teach thought leaders how to write books that disrupt mainstream thinking. Unjuggled was my first book, which is kind of bringing this full circle and exactly what I'm talking about, why I actually realized this is what this is about. This is what we're doing. I don't know what, if you looked at any of your offerings and any of your online offerings, if you looked at them all, they're always going to have an element of disrupting thinking, building your personal brand to be known for these particular things. So my disruptive thinking with branding and personal branding was me brand method, creating a body of work that is inherently disruptive to mainstream thinking. My whole business disrupts the mainstream business, online business model. The online business model is you do internet marketing and you do advertising. You don't just do organic content straight up to the internet producing substance, and also you do not give away all your things, scatter them like confetti all over the internet. That's exactly what I do. I scatter them like confetti. Good luck finding them all. You go into the courses to get it synthesized. You go into the courses to get it spelled out for you step by step, versus having it scattered all over the internet on confetti. Go and find all my stories, go and find all my Instagrams, and I promise you it's still not even there, because when I make a course, it's like, that was my first draft. When I do a course, when I do my launches for my courses, it's like friggin' first draft of stuff that you see, and then on the front end, but still, it's giving away as much substance as I possibly can at the time. But then obviously when I'm working through the course and really taking into consideration who's coming to the course, that I realize. So to me, this is crazy, and one of those palpable times in history where I really find, holy wow, I've got so much clarity about what you guys do. I have so much clarity now about what I'm here to do. And I'm here to help the big dreamers, because we are big dreamers literally because we're like, you know what? I've got a millionaire mind, as in my ideas in my mind are worth millions of dollars because they are so disruptive and so transformative and so metamorphical. Is that a word? It's going to be a word right now. I was thinking about that after I was really jiving with, being thought leaders, and you guys are all thought leaders, and that is the qualification that you all have for being in the Big Dreamers community. You are leading thought. You are thought leaders. If you don't consider yourself that, big on. That's what we do. So, but also if you feel like timid or intimidated by being a thought leader, if you access that little part in yourself that maybe you're not at the point where you're believing in it, but if you access that part and you're like, you know what, I am leading thought, I do have thought leading ideas. They're obviously not established. You might not have established offerings. You might not have an established voice. You might not have established fan base. You might not have an established message, but they're in there. You may not have owned it. You don't have the power with it yet. You haven't exercised and you haven't got the clarity on it yet, but it's in there. You know that deep down within it's there. It is there hanging out. So let's have a look here. Yep, totally. It keeps throwing me off because I've created a world that reflects my beliefs, and I feel I keep repeating someone else's thinking. Well, that's always going to be, when you stay in tune with your beliefs, you can consistently reset. I'm writing a book trying to disrupt people's thinking about turning 40, and I can't believe the comments I'm seeing from people around this amazing age. Wow! Because that's so what I'm talking about. That is thought leading, is it's offering up different ideas, and it's offering up different paradigms, and it's offering up different ways of thinking. And to be honest, mindset shifting. That is one of the things that I've really discovered over the years. That's what I do all the time. My first free funnel series, video series, you can still see it on YouTube, the Mindset Shifts. Obviously, it was right when I started, so I had no clue what I'd do it, but I'm like, you know what? I cannot sell them Mum's Juggling School without giving them the mindset shifts that is required to get what they need from it. And if they're not down with the mindset shifts, perfect, because they're not going to be perfect for the course. And so I really have been doing this mindset shift thing for years. So every time I'm doing a course, I'm shifting, mindset shifting, right? Mindset shifts, hashtag mindset shifts. This is when you feel so it might not be thinking of yourself like a thought leader, but essentially that's the word for it. We're shifting people's perspective and mindset. around a specific area. And we do that with stories, and we do that through going from the story to the shift to then the strategy. So a lot of people just try to throw a strategy on us. Here's how to be a minimalist. Here's the strategy. Without, did you ever watch the Minimalist documentary? Story, mindset shift, strategy. Well, there's very little strategy in it, but you get the picture. When I'm teaching a course, story, shift, strategy. Right now in this actual Facebook Live, I gave you a story of how I came to the conclusion, but then I also gave you a story of like Mum's juggling act and how that evolved and how I realized, oh my God, and of course what I'm doing here. And so I went from story to shift in your perception to strategy, right? So I think this is really important. It's a really important mindset healing. Oh yeah, I know it's in there. Yes, it is. My voice disrupts how deeply we share on social media. I love it. Share deep. That's how we do. And what do thought leaders need? What thought leaders need is practically, because you every day are stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's like inherent. It's like your prerequisite. You have to be stepping outside of your comfort zone. You have to be stepping outside of your circle. You have to be stepping away from the herd. The herd's going that way and you're going that way. And it's like, oh my God. And that's why I feel like the Big Dreamers ecosystem is really a respite for everybody. Everyone's like, some other people think like me. Oh my God. I remember when I made the membership and everyone's like, what? There's other people on the internet who think this way? That, oh my God, this is crazy. And so when you feel like, and you neutralize it and you normalize it and you naturalize these ways of thinking, even if they're not the same as the other Big Dreamers, it's such a beautiful, comfortable space to be, because it's like a respite from the rest of the world, where the rest of the world are just like, what are you talking about? Whereas in the Big Dreamers world, we're just like, yeah, that's normal, that's natural, whatever's. Story, mindset shift. Yes, that is my signature system. So story, mindset shift, and then your strategy. I feel I forget the strategy part because I'm an expert, or because you're not an expert. Depends. Well, the strategy is putting the stuff together and synthesizing it, right? So it's synthesizing it all together. So that's real. This is really just an announcement. I've finally figured out what we all do. I finally figured it out. And guys, I also want to tell you that it's been a long time coming that I've had one word to describe you guys, because I've been calling you guys like onliners. I'm like, I can't find a word. Like, obviously we call each other Big Dreamers, but what is that specifically that we do? And there was no common denominator that I'd figured out. And so it took me a long time. So if you're not feeling clarity about your community clarity, why did I think of I just thought of Callie just then, of course. Oh my God, of course. If you're not feeling clarity around your community, give it time. It could be like me and you've like nearly got 8,000 followers on friggin' Instagram, and you might have bloody however many 3,000 followers on Facebook. You might have hundreds of comments, and then figure it out. Don't let this stop you. Don't let you not having, because it didn't stop me, did it? And I've only just figured it out. I've got like so many clients, and I've got so many customers, and I've got so much community, big clients, big customers, and here we are. You don't need to have the clarity. But here's the deal. I've got the clarity for you now, guys, that what you guys are here to do. You're thought leaders. I'm the thought leader for thought leader. I'm the big dreamer for big dreamers, because thought leading inherently is a big dream to shift thought. And this shifts the mindsets around certain things that we care so passionately, so deeply. My thought leading is like literally you got a big dream and it matters that you actually achieve that, and your whole friggin' life depends on you going, here's my big dream. I'm going to take action on it, and really take action on it. And I'm going to build my belief up to this big dream. Yes, this big dream seems bogus, and yes, this big dream seems ridiculous, but I'm going to build my big dream, and then I'm going to bloody take action, and I'm not going to stop. And if anything tries to stop me, I'm going to go within and also produce without. I'm going to produce on the front ends and still be in. Hi, Melissa. Oh, this was good. This was a good Facebook Live. I'm going to put this on the must-watch list. I think I should do like at the end of the week and send out a messenger bot, like the must watch list. Because some are like crap Facebook Lives that you just don't need to come to. save yourself the time. I'm all about that. Love it. Story, mindset shift, strategy. It's something that I'm working with at the moment. So when I work with clients, I'll listen to what they're saying and then I'll usually use a story, and I'll usually use that to create the mindset shift, and then I'll offer a strategy, like an action strategy to take to lock that in. Community clarity. It's amazing. It doesn't need to have. When did this start? I was doing a live. You were doing a live. That makes me next level happy. We got a Mission 12ers in the house. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Makes me so happy that you were doing a Facebook live. Actually, I'm just like, go do your Facebook live. You didn't need to watch mine. It was amazing. If anybody wants a recap, shall we recap? Because it was pretty amazing. Basically, it's just a public service announcement for the big dreamers. You guys are thought leaders. Whether you like it or not, you're thought leaders. Whether you own it or not, you're thought leaders. Whether you claim it or not, I'm going to claim it for you. I'm going to claim it for you because you are. Because there's not one person in my community. There's not one person in my customer base. There is not one client of mine that is not a thought leader. You guys are all leading thought. The level into which you're owning that varies, definitely. But I've only just owned it. I've only just realized myself that I'm a thought leader. And that's, so to me, it's blowing my mind, but also it's just, it is what it is. You always have been leading thought, a thought leader. It's just, it's also a category in which that we can, it helps us to be really so much room to move, because the very essence of a thought leader is to disrupt mainstream thinking. The very essence of a thought leader is to build a brand around who you are and really share the experiments. Off to Facebook Live. Go, Lisa. I love it. That makes me super happy. To share the experimentation and the education that you have, whether it was self-educated or educated in the regular system, wherever that education come from, what you've taken in the education, you've taken in the experiments, you've taken in whatever your expertise are, and you processed that and you've molded that and you've created your own methods, you've created your own processes, and most likely go against the grain of whatever it was that you've been taught or shown or told to think. And so that's where we come in with disrupting thought, disrupting mainstream thinking, having different ideas. There's not one of my clients that doesn't have disruptive ideas, because I've heard you guys talk to me. I've heard what you guys have all had to say, and I'm just high as a kite, literally, to be able to look at all my clients across the board and go, that is the one thing that joins them together. They're all so unique and they're all so different that I could never figure out what the hell is that common denominator that brings it together. And to me, this has blown my mind to know this, and to know this even as a community, we can really claim this. Because here's the story that I said, Vanessa, was basically, I don't teach hairdressers how to do a hairdressing course. I don't teach hairdressers how to write a book on hairdressing. No way. How did I never see this? I do not know. I teach people with disruptive, leading edge ideas and big dreams around changing and shifting thought in that industry or in that area, and they're shifting thought and they've got big dreams about their ability to actually do that. That is across the board of all the people I work with. And it's finally finding that word that describes what we're freaking doing is great. But I also want to at the same time show you and share with you that it's taken me this long to figure that out. And that is okay. So if you have no idea who you're working with, just go shine and be completely you. There will be one day down the track where you figure it out. It may just take a 5-year minute like it took me. It took me a 5-year minute to figure this out. It took me a 5-year minute to figure out that I'm a thought leader for thought leaders, and we have big dreams. And business has become a vessel for these big dreams of getting our disruptive thinking out there and shifting people's minds and creating these mindset shifts and telling these stories of how we came to shift our mind on this, and then creating and fleshing out stories and strategies and processes and methods that help people adopt these different ways of thinking, that they can have frameworks in which they can freestyle in. So everything I create is a framework for you to freestyle, because it's like, you've got room to move, you've got room to grow, you've got room to do it your way. There is a framework and you freestyle with it. And so thought leaders need that. Inherently, thought leaders cannot be given a freaking like step-by-step system to work with and just implement. No, and that's not what we do. And what I do is give you a framework. It's like, here's the framework, but it also comes down to you being you and you working with the way that you work and working with your natural nature, but then also getting your natural nature to be able to produce in the way that you envision and see yourself being able to create and make all the things that you want to do. So we are thought leaders. To cut a long story short, we are thought leaders. The level to which we're owning and claiming that could be a different story, but that's why the whole time, do you reckon a hairdresser goes out, like I know I keep using the hairdresser analogy, but it's working here. Do you reckon a hairdresser who is writing a book on being a hairdresser is worried about it? Maybe she is. I mean, that's assuming. But do you reckon she's as worried as somebody who is a parenting thought leader who is stepping out and writing a book about parenting in this radical way? Who do you think is going to be doing more soul searching? Who do you think is going to be really called to question, who the hell am I to do this? Who the hell am I to say this? Who the hell am I to think I can write this course, and what makes me so freaking special? Who do you think is going to come up against more situations where belief is so needed? I'm pretty sure the latter, the parenting one, right? And say, high vibe, mama. Hell yeah! So high vibe. Who do you think is the hairdresser that's writing a book or creating a course of how to cut hair? Do you reckon she is going to work with her beliefs as much as somebody who is coming into the minimalist, like going to help people to get rid of all their shit? Do you reckon that that's going to be a bit harder for her to go, hey guys, just sell all your stuff that you're really attached to. You don't need stuff. Have Christmas without stuff. Do you think that that's going to be harder for her to step out in front of a whole circle that thinks completely different to her? Do you think she's going to have to build her beliefs right up to the hilt in order to do that? Hell yes, and that's why belief matters so much to my message. Me, always questioning and stepping over myself. I hear you. Exactly, that's what I'm here for. That is exactly what I'm here for. What I'm here for is to really help you and motivate you and move you and friggin' get you to and mastermind with you and mentor with you, whatever capacity that I'm working with you. And motivate you, essentially. That's what I really do on my Facebook stuff. My back end, I mastermind and do all the other stuff. But on my front end, it's very motivational. Motivating you for the message that you're on a mission to share, right? So that's what we're doing. And it's like this constant soul searching that we have to do to be able to get our messages out and step outside of the herd, that everyone's going that way and we're going to say that. It's almost like, you know how you just don't discuss politics with friends? Like, you know how it's not, you just don't go there. Well, literally our whole business is almost like creating that friction because we're stepping out and we're saying our opinions. We're saying what we mean. We're saying what we think. We're sharing different ways of thinking. We're shifting minds. We're blowing minds. We're doing all these and creating all these things that are just so left of center thinking or right of center thinking, whatever direction you want to go. And it's so different. It's practically like going to a house where everybody's liberal and you're Labor. And you're gonna have a political conversation. You're gonna feel like everybody is against you. You're gonna feel like, what the hell? They all looking at me like I'm a foreign fish that's from another world. Exactly the exact same thing as when you're sharing your message and you're being a thought leader online and you're sharing and being a social media creator and you're creating stuff that's in service of your message and you're being the thought leader that you are on the internet. It's exactly the same thing as walking into a room with everybody liberal and you're Labor and you're having a political conversation. You're going to feel like a duck out of water. You're going to feel like everybody's against you. You're going to feel like everyone's like, why do you think like that? We don't even understand what you're thinking. And those are the people that are not going to shift. The ones that are going to shift, the ones that are magnetized to you, the ones that are magnetized and just going, you know what? I need somebody that I resonate with to share this message. It's not like you might be the only person sharing that message, but you may be the one person that person resonates with. That's why it's so important to be yourself. Constantly pushing buttons. Hell yeah, it's just like pushing buttons like beep, 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 beep all day. You're basically you're signing up to be a thought leader, aka be you online, and become a personal brand so that you can be the thought leader that you are. You're literally signing up to press your buttons and press other people's buttons all day. And you're basically signing up to have those political, even though they won't be political unless they are political, unless that's your thing, conversations every day where everybody's like thinking this and you're thinking this. But you will be surprised. The best thing about online, and that's why social media is so beautiful, you're introducing yourself to a scope of people that are going to be loving what you're putting down. That does not mean you'll be void of questioning yourself or feeling like, oh my God, this portion of the population on my social media platforms think I'm mad, had a crazy. But there's these little tiny, like this little tiny group going on here that love what I'm putting down. And it's also about focusing on them, focusing on what they're receiving. I remember when I had 24 followers on my Facebook page. I had 24 friggin' followers for like a year on my Facebook page, and I'm like, why am I even showing up every day to share like mum's juggling act stuff about juggling kids? And I was like, A, there's 24 people that want to hear what I have to say. That's a pretty, like, even numbers don't matter. It's just about there's 24 people. It wouldn't matter if there was one, right? And it's like, I will find those people. I will find them. I will find the people that are interested. They're surely out there somewhere. Social media is how you find them. You magnetize them to you by, you actually have to share the thing you have here to share. You have to actually disrupt the thinking on the front end to be able to do it, because people are going to hear you say that and be like, what did she say? I've always thought that. There's this woman that I still follow to this day. And she said, she wrote on an email, it was not an email, back in the day when it was email marketing days, when it wasn't really social media. And I had never even, I don't know how I was on an email list. She never even really thought about her, never really noticed her, didn't even know who she really was. And she wrote an email about not having to let yourself go after kids. And I was like, you just said what I've always been thinking, but I've always been too scared to think that, because everybody thinks, okay, once you've had kids, clearly you're going to let yourself go, and that's the end of your body is no longer yours, and all these other things. And I was like, I just don't want to believe that, but clearly I'm the only person that thinks that, so be quiet. And then when she said that, I was like, right. And I'm still in her area, right? I'm still in her peripheral vision, because that to me was like, somebody said what I had always been thinking. So you've got to say the things that people are thinking in private. You've got to say them publicly. Do you see why it's so hard sometimes to share your message as is, right? It's not easy, but it's what you signed up for. Small price to pay by being able to shift, whether it's one mind or thousands of minds, into moving away from mainstream thinking and moving into thinking that you're passionate about, moving into ideas that you're passionate about, moving into affecting and making change. If we're going to talk about fucking changing lives, that's where it's at, right? Helping people to have those mind shifts so they can make those changes. That's changing lives. And you're not going to do that just like sitting around not sharing those things that are inside you. So go and share those things inside you. Go and message me about Mission 12. Mission 12 is my 12-month mastermind. Oh yeah. So message me if you want the details of that. I hope you guys have the best day ever. They're going to obviously be the chief thought leaders of the internet. They're the chief big dreamers of the big dreamers. For 12 months, you have me, my never let up energy for 12 months. You got to remember you're signing up for that. I don't let up. No, I don't. It's very annoying, but also very amazing. I hope you have the best day ever growing to big dreams. I shall see you in the next video. And in my message box if you want to be in Mission 12. Hope you have the best day ever growing to big dreams. Chief Big Dreamer of the internet is out.